So tell us a little bit about your involvement in the film. You directed it. How did you come to directing it?
I directed it because I knew Michael. I made a lot of the INXS music videos back in the day. I made the music videos for his solo projects in the late 80s, and I had all this film sitting in my attic. And then eventually, about 5 years ago, the head of arts at our local broadcaster in Australia convinced me to do something with all the footage I had, and she said, Mandy Chang's the name, and she got the ball rolling with some development money from the ABC, and then Screen Australia and Film Victoria all kicked in, which are our state funding bodies, and then the BBC came on board, BBC Music came on board, and it just sort of went from there, so, you know. But I had been collecting interviews and everything for a number of years before that, unfunded of course, yeah.
So what are your experiences in directing music videos that really helped you in directing this documentary?
Well, it's just the connection you have to have with the music, and so it's sort of like, usually in a drama or documentary you make the film and then someone comes in and underscores the music. Well, this is working the other way. We have the music already, and so it just helps you with the rhythm of making the film if you actually have that musical rhythm, and it's quite a lyrical, I mean, of course it's a documentary with very strong content, but it's also got a musical element to the whole filmmaking. It's not just like a normal prosaic sort of talking heads documentary. It's really something that reflects Michael's personality in a poetic way, you know.
So rock biopics are really hot now. It's Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man. So
Yes.
What do you think this documentary medium really brings out that a narrative film couldn't?
Well, it's funny, it's a good question, because we were actually trying to make this a drama before we made it a documentary, and then I actually started looking at the interviews with Michael, and I just think someone pretending to be this guy is not really going to work, and it's not always the case. Sometimes, like in the Johnny Cash film, Walk the Line, it worked amazingly, but in this case I just thought, who better to tell his own story than Michael himself? And we discovered these radio interviews and everything, and it was knowing that it's really real in that it's written like a film script. The story is like a Greek tragedy, but it's really real. It's actually him, and it really happens, and his girlfriends are talking and everyone's talking, and it's just a sense of this is real life. Even if you don't know who he is, it's like a story of an unknown rock star. You actually get an insight into the problems it is dealing with mass publicity, you know, hundreds of thousands of people loving you, but also the little boy who grew up not being famous, you know. It's that dilemma is fascinating to me.